guarding man-to-man, but there were times I had to get him man-to-man. And your favorite team that you guys love to face in your division?
Yours.
Yes, sir.
Like the games like you play against the Raiders, you might get 3 sacks. When they had Jamarcus Russell, which I did. So I got 3 sacks on them in the first half, right?
Yeah.
And I'm ready, and they take Tommy Maddox.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to West War Room Rivals. I am your host this evening, Cody. I'm joined by the Shoviks and the opposite screen, Corey and Austin. Fellas, how's it going?
Yep. I was so disappointed today when I realized it was only Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the longest week it feels like. For those that missed last night, we had Christy Foyd on last night, so go check that out on a previous episode. We have another great episode tonight. A couple of housekeeping notes, though, fellas. We want to give a shout out to Matt, our comrade, who is doing his thing over in the Navy across the sea. So we hope that he's doing well. Hope that Aiden and Angel are doing well. Thinking of you guys. Also, shout out to our Chargers fan, Caleb, who cannot join us, family obligations, but we're holding down the fort for him. So fellas, let's get some sponsors thanked, and let's get our special guest on there. And if you guys are reading the title of the show, that's right. We have the one and only on the show tonight. So shout out to Field Ops Kansas, shout out to Emporia State Federal Credit Union, and shout out to JBW Solutions. We are recording out of the JBW Solutions LLC studios. I don't have it on there because we have our special guest, and I don't want to hide any of this guest's screen because her presence is what we were looking for. So we have Charger fan Merrianne Do, who is joining us on the stage tonight to represent Bolt fam. So welcome, Merrianne. How are you doing?
Living the dream, feeling good. How are you?
Very good. How's everything been in this off season? We saw some fun stuff on social media. How's that been for you?
Off season, in the beginning of the off season, I'm always like, okay, we're ready for this. And then a couple weeks in, we're like, okay, we're waiting. And free agency happens, and that's exciting for a little bit. And then the draft hits and you feel it. It's like that momentum rolling right now. So it's awesome.
I feel like once the draft happens, now it kind of picks up just a tad. But you're going to hit that little, I don't know, maybe a week, 2-week period right before you hit into like training camp where you're sitting here like, holy cow, can we just not do preseason and can we just get the games going? Because
I know
I'm 3 fantasy drafts deep into this. I'm ready to go. Like, I can't get any more ready for the season. So, can we just get this going?
I feel you. I can't even play fantasy. Like, I can't not cheer for my team. And so, if I have somebody on my team that is on the opposing team against the Chargers that week, I'm like, okay, I don't want the points. I want to win. So I can't do fantasy. It's just a conflict of interest.
Hey, we have some friends that are like that, actually. Because then they're like, well, that kind of takes the point away of being a fan of your team. So then they're kind of just like, well, I guess we're just going to draft this person. Or they're like super Chiefs heavy because they're like super like big Chiefs fans and whatnot. Yeah. So,
and then the bye week happens and then it's a suffer streak.
Yeah, absolutely. So Cody, get us going here on segment 1.
You got it. All right, Merrianne, I got the first question, opening one. We're going to start off really easy. So what made you become a Charger fan? Was there a moment? Was there a player? Is it just something that you kind of were born into? How did you become the person you are today? And how did you fall in love with the Chargers?
So I grew up watching football with my dad. I grew up in Minnesota watching football with my dad, followed the Vikings when I was a kid. It was part of what made him feel like he was American, and part of what made him fit into this country, not knowing the language. And then I met my now husband. He's from California. We were long distance. So we would kind of support each other's teams initially when I was a teenager. And, being AFC and NFC, it was still pretty peaceful most of the time, actually. And watching throughout the years, I just really fell in love with the Chargers. And this is going to be so bad because how can you fall in love with a team through a player? But Phil did it for me. I loved watching Phil. I like him as a person, as a football player, as a dad, as a husband. He's such a cool guy that I admire personally, but it's also somebody that, my kids can look up to. And I don't have to worry about, what is he saying? What is he doing with his life? Because I think he's a super rad guy. So that's where it kind of all started with the Chargers. And then moving to California and going to the games live really locked me in.
It's pretty awesome.
So Cody also lives in California too, so it must be just like a California thing going on right now, right?
That's right. I'm in the Central Valley, so I think if you're in the LA County area or Orange County area, we're about 4 hours apart. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny story with the Raiders. When my husband was younger, because he's been a fan of the Chargers since he was a kid, but he was deciding because he lives in California, there's so many teams to choose from, right?
Right.
So his older cousin took him to a Raiders game. That was his first like live football game as like a 12-year-old or however the heck old he was. But he's like, I was there. I saw like 13 fights. I'm like, this is not my team. I'm not doing this. That works. So then he went with the Chargers and he's been a fan since.
That's incredible. Yeah, funny thing. So in my family in California, my mother's side of the family, they're Bronco fans and 49er fans. It's split that way. So my dad, who was not from California, ironically, he was the Raiders fan, and his best friend got him into being a Raiders fan. So that's kind of how I became a Raiders fan. And all of our, I think you and I can agree with this, all of our years of pain, anguish, and loyalty have been from what we decided to do. So that's how in California I became a Raiders fan. It wasn't for the reasons that most people think.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to say funny story, the Raiders, and then just leave it there.
I should. That would have been good. I'll use it next time.
There you go.
Yeah.
I thought that's where she was going. I'm like, okay, she's coming out swinging, Cody.
I love it.
So when did you realize that this wasn't just like being a fan? Like this was like something that you were like really into?
I'm kind of an all or nothing person. With almost everything I do in life. I'm extreme in that way. And so even like being a kid watching football, if we lost, like I couldn't study for my exam the next day, even in college. You know, if we win, I'm good. I'm in a good mood. Everything's good. Everybody's my friend. Like life is good. But yeah, so it's always kind of been all or nothing. And with the Chargers coming here and going to the games, I think I locked in obviously going to the live games, but building those relationships and kind of like getting to meet the players, getting to meet ownership, and just kind of being locked in that way. I really liked it. And then the fan base, the Chargers fan base is really, really cool, really, really welcoming, mostly, especially if you're at SoFi or if you're at, well, when it was Qualcomm, it was freaking amazing too. But even at SoFi during Thunder Alley, I don't know, have you guys been to a game out there?
We're working on it.
What? Oh my gosh, you have to come out. Okay, so the tailgates are so much fun. So you know, like when you're in the Midwest or when you're in a football town, like it's tailgating everywhere. Like, you know, every single parking lot, every single piece of grass, everything is a tailgate. In California, it's a little different, right? It's like, okay, safety first. There's only allotted areas that you can tailgate. So we have things called like, you know, Lightning Lane, Thunder Alley, all these different areas that are tailgates. And the Chargers fans come out, they set up, and they kind of just welcome everybody. So you walk down and it's almost like red carpet, you know, here's a drink, here's some food, you know, and we're, you know, there's some banter, but it's always really like energetic and fun, and the music is pumping. It's a great time. Great time. If you guys ever come out, you got to come early.
Of course.
Yeah.
We would make sure to enjoy festivities, and it's kind of sad you guys don't like jump off buses and break tables and stuff.
No. There's other festivities that are probably not rated G, but I mean, come out and
right.
It is California. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, we are trying to get to a game at each of the state. Like we grew up in Kansas City, so we've been to Arrowhead. No offense to the other teams in the division. As a Chiefs fan, the next one on my list I would prefer Mile High, and then SoFi. And I don't care about the Raiders, so yeah.
Well, I hear Allegiant Stadium's pretty rocking, so you know.
Yeah,
you're not outside. You're not freezing yourself.
I hear Allegiant is decent, but it's like the ticket prices are like insane there. Like,
well, it's Las Vegas. It's the number one travel capital of the world. So yeah, I mean, and that's a lot of reason why like Mark Davis moving the team there is because I don't think he necessarily wants to isolate Raider fans to Vegas, but he gets more money being in Vegas from all fan base because it's a higher pricing ticket when you go all the way out there to Vegas and all that other stuff. So
yeah.
It's not real football fans. Anyway, right. She gets it. She gets it. So I have one for me, but I want to get one from you first on what's kind of one early Chargers memory that you'll never forget, or if it's a bad one that still lives rent free in your head.
I have so many memories. Really great memories, some funny memories. There's so many great memories. One that's kind of funny and kind of not amazing. So we, when we were young and go to games, we would always buy like nosebleeds, right? We can't really afford anything. We're like in the second to the back row. Well, then in 2009-ish, maybe, I don't remember. Twan, my husband Twan, splurged, and got us club tickets. So we got there early and we got club tickets. We're feeling all, fancy. So we get there early and, with the club ticket, when you're there early, you can walk down to like right where, not on the field, but, the front row and kind of take pictures and do your thing or whatever. So we're standing there and we're taking up pictures, enjoying our time. And there's this fan and he's just red and angry. And I'm like, what is going on? The guy's just like, Norv! And he's like so pissed off at Norv Turner for like the team was just warming up. There's nothing going on yet. Guy's going AWOL about Norv. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Well, we go sit in our seats and we're like in the third row and the guy's still in the front row the entire game. And we were playing the Eagles, I think. The entire game, he's just screaming Norv. Like he doesn't even care about what's going on. He just hates Norv. And I'm like, why? In my head, I'm like, I just spent a lot of money in my mindset at that point on these tickets. I want to enjoy my time. Why would you spend money and just scream at this dude for like 3 hours or however long it is? We won. He was not even happy when we won. Like it was insanity to me. So I think for some reason that memory just like is always in my head of this guy screaming Norv. Like every time I hear Norv Turner, I think of this man with this red face.
Just kind of taking himself out of enjoying the game,
Yeah, exactly. But everybody enjoys it differently. Maybe that's his jam. I don't know.
See, my early Chargers memory is Phillip Rivers fumbling the snap on primetime against the Chiefs.
Oh no!
So I just wanted to get that in there. Like I know what mine was.
Thanks.
But just to make, we were all big fans of Phillip Rivers' comeback. By the way,
We were.
Yeah.
First of all, to
Did
do
you
that
see it?
after
Oh my
5
God,
years,
he was so cute.
that was my thought.
Well, and
He
it's
was
like,
so like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Austin.
No, you're good.
You're good. And I was just gonna say, it's like I'm, a couple years younger than Phillip Rivers, so it's like he's out here just off the streets, just going and playing an NFL game and still looking pretty good. And it's like I can barely get out of bed every morning without
Dude,
my whole body just popping. So it's one of those where it's like, damn.
Do you see him slip and fall? I was like, oh, Phil, I'm so glad he got up because I was so worried. Like, oh my God. Because you can tell he hasn't played. And like when he came out, he didn't look like how he did when he was playing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
So, but it's really fun to see him out there and to see him so emotional in his interview about it too. Like, it just reminds me of his interview. Obviously, I'm a fan, so I remember these things. You probably didn't even see it. But the end of his career, and he was like, the end of his career with the Chargers. Yeah. He was like, dadgummit, I just don't think I could have tried any harder or done any more than I already did. And he's like crying. And I'm just like, I just love this guy. He's just everything.
And he still had the same like energy and like passion still too after 5 years and being like 80 years old. And it's like that same fire.
Hey, I take offense to that because we're the same age. So I take offense to that.
20 years old football age.
But it's good to see that he didn't forget how to like market to officials. I think that was my favorite part was he's just, hey, you've been out of the game for a few years and you're already like knowing the officials and barking like you were, before he retired. But hey, you may get, his son's going to be maybe a few years away. So
Gunner looks good too.
Getting ready to start his college career. So who knows? Maybe the Chargers can, a few years down the road have another Rivers.
So that's what I'm saying, right? Because, Justin has a good amount of years left. Yeah. So, Justin's going to play. We're going to win a Super Bowl. Justin's going to be good to go. And towards the end of his career, Gunner is going to be Justin's backup. And then come into the role.
There we go.
There you go.
The only flaw was the Super Bowl. But we had Quentin
In
Jammer
LA.
on. We did have Quentin Jammer on, and he mentioned that Phillip Rivers was one of the best trash talkers in practice, and like that was part of like what made them all better is because Phillip would just bark at him all the time, and it was just so funny to hear that, because it's like, of all people, Phillip Rivers. And like his show prepping was always like, daggum, shoot.
Gosh,
Like nothing
darn
like
it.
malicious. Yeah.
I love it. But he's like, yep, you know, like he's the best.
That's
well,
cool.
and funny enough is we also had Chris Harris on, and obviously Chris played with the Broncos for most of his career before finishing with the Chargers, but he was even saying, you know, it was Phillip. Like, you knew what you were getting when you would go play against the Chargers is, well, I wonder what Phillip's going to say today. And you're kind of looking at him like, oh man, he just said that, like, of all people. And it's just like, so again, everyone seemed to love Phillip. Obviously, you know, it was one of those where we were spoiled in our, you know, when we were younger, the quarterbacks that came, you know, through the NFL and you know, that class. So I think for us, mostly seeing Phillip back in the NFL was kind of like, you know, that's a little bit of a, you know, core memory for us seeing him. It was just weird seeing him in a different,
Colts,
I didn't like him in the Colts uniform to begin with.
I have to agree.
Right.
Yeah, I have to agree. It just didn't feel right. It didn't look right.
at all.
I thought he was going to come back and maybe be like a QB coach or an offensive assistant for us or something like that. But, you know, I actually didn't think he would come back because he's so into coaching his kids and he's such a family man. But it was already the end of the season. They had lost in the final before they went into the final. Oh, they lost in the finals. I think they were like undefeated all season long. And then, and so his season just ended with his son, and he's like, what the heck, you know, like, let's get these 5 games in.
Let's just go to the NFL.
I know, and freaking almost made the playoffs, you know, like
he did very well.
Dude, it was my biggest fear, like, because if the games aligned correctly, we would have played them in our first playoff game.
Who would you have rooted for?
Well, I obviously would have rooted for the Chargers, but my heart would be broken a little bit.
Okay. I was like, there was a little pause there. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I'm like, can you imagine like Khalil running in and just knocking Phil out? Like, I would just, I don't know how I would feel about that. You know,
well, how would you feel about Phillip Rivers throwing a game-winning touchdown to eliminate the Chargers, but he moved on?
Oh.
We're putting in a tough spot.
She's like, I don't
remember doing
and I've thought, and it's not like I haven't thought about these things. I've like thought about these things, and I still don't know what I would do. Like,
yeah,
that
was right. Like, and Phillip is yours.
Cody, get us going with segment 2.
So
sorry,
I'm talking no. Before I say this, I think what's going to be crazy is in a few years we're going to have a Manning and a Rivers back in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
that's
next year he's.
Next year, Manning should be in the league. And then I'm not sure how old Gunner is, but if he's right around the age of like within 5 years, he'll probably be on a team, which means we'll have a Rivers and a Manning back in the NFL.
And Peyton's son, I believe, is entering 8th grade now.
Yeah. So we'll have 2 Mannings again and another Rivers. We just need a Brady now. And
no.
Does anyone else feel old yet?
Does his son play?
I don't know, actually.
I don't think any of his kids play football. I think his niece is a really good volleyball player.
Yes,
but I don't think any of his kids are athletes per se, I believe. I think his oldest is a model. Yeah. All right. So next question segment, Merrianne. Walk us through the moment when the world discovered you. Like, obviously, there's that classic photo of seeing you. Walk us through what that moment led to and then what it was like following that.
I mean, I'm sure like it's been, you know, I've told it like a gazillion times because it was like so out of the ordinary, so random, you know. It was Monday Night Football at a game with my husband and a bunch of friends, and we're there, and you know, that was just like kind of maybe the 3rd or 4th time we got a suite. We usually we have season tickets. But sometimes it's kind of fun to be on the field suite, just because you're right there in the action, like you can hear the hit. It's almost like if they were close enough, you could like feel the sweat like splash on you, you know, like it's crazy. Like you hear and it's so good. And so we were there just watching the game, and that's how I watch every game. You know, if something bad happens, I'm angry, I'm sad. If something good happens, it could just be like a freaking first down and I'm super excited. It is what it is. And so I don't know why that day my emotions got broadcasted. And it was like a plethora of emotions, which is every single game. If you've ever watched a Chargers game, especially back then, nothing's ever sure. You know, we still have PTSD from it to a certain extent where you're like up by however much, it doesn't even matter. You're always worried. And so every play matters. Everything matters. Everybody's like, why was she cheering? Because it was the first time. Like, it was a freaking first down. It matters. You know what I mean? Like, every play matters. So I think the first point when I realized something was somebody from the sideline, like one of the people kind of just making sure everybody was safe, came up and they were like, oh, you're on ESPN. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Well, people get on ESPN, like fans are always on there. And then my watch like was buzzing, but I didn't look at it because it wasn't my nanny. So I didn't know what was happening. And then I think it really hit when I went outside and I was like walking and people are like, oh, you're on ESPN. I'm like, how the heck do you know I'm on ESPN? You're at the game.
You're
like,
here.
Yeah. I'm like, we don't watch the TV when we're here. Like, I don't understand. And that's when on the ride home, Eric, one of our reps, he was like, oh, we get the sweets through him. He's like, hey, Twan, my husband. He's like, hey, Twan, your wife just went effing viral. And we don't even know at that point, we didn't even know what that really entailed, because I seriously only had Facebook to keep in contact with my family and friends at home. Like, oh, these are pictures of my babies, blah, blah, blah. So that's when it hit. And then I read all the messages from all my friends and they were like dying laughing, like, oh my God, that is so you, like, this is hilarious. And then people like I hadn't heard from forever. You know, my old bosses from like 10 years ago are like, Merrianne, I just saw you on Monday Night Football. And so it was a total trip. And the next morning they're like, oh, Pat McAfee wants to talk to you. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Pat McAfee wants to talk to me? Like, sure. I'm not going to say no. Like,
right.
Pat McAfee. So I get on there and I've never done an interview in my freaking life. Like, I've never, like job interviews, whatever, but like that. So I get on there and I'm just like, life is good. You know, I have no filter. I have no idea, you know, no coaching, nothing. I just start talking. I don't even know like what's coming out of my mouth, but it was so cool. Like his whole crew was like super cool and sweet. So that was super fun. And then that journey kind of led to other interviews and other opportunities that came along with that. The first kind of couple months or couple weeks or whatever it was. And it was just like, I would never imagine myself being in that position. And, you know, when I'm 70 and I look back, I'm like, man, I was relevant in one snippet hairline of time, you know, and it was so crazy. Like we went to Kansas City, Arrowhead, the week after, like we did a thing with B-dubs, which was like insane. But they took my family and I out. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll take my kids, you know? So we go out there and they're like, okay, so we're going to have security for you and security for the kids. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Well, it hit me when I got to the airport and the security at the airport was like, oh, you're da-da-da. Can I take a picture? And I'm like, are you supposed to make sure I'm safe? Like walking through like the metal detector thing here? Like, but it was just so crazy in that it became overwhelming almost in that moment where I'm like, oh, so this is what a snippet of what like famous people deal with. And I think it almost made me filter when I'm around like the team members and things like that. I'm not like going psycho, like take a picture with me, you know, because I'm like, I get it. It can be really overwhelming. Like the first one, the second, it's still super exciting. But I think that first week, it was just like thousands of people. And it was just like, I can't imagine this life. Like I'm nobody, you know, like you want to take a picture of me, like literally if you saw my glamorous life of like vacuuming and mopping every day, like you would not want to you know, like, but it was really neat, really cool. Such a blessing to be able to experience it. And then to be able to then, you know, go to games and meet the players and them being like, oh yeah, hey, Merrianne. I'm like, oh, hey, you know, like it's so, like, it was so cool. So cool.
Can I ask you something to follow up that? Yeah. Like, is there and you can share this if you want to, is there like a negative side that you had to deal with that surprised you during obviously you being seen, recognized during the months that you were just mentioning?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, like it was really exciting and everything in the beginning, and talking to all these like famous people like Pat McAfee and 2020 and all these fun things. And then I was never an online person, and then to see some of that online backlash was a little bit shocking to me. I've always considered myself a very positive person. I've always wanted to kind of be positive and bring joy to others, and not put anybody down. There's no reason to put anybody down unless obviously they're hurting somebody else. But for that kind of personal attacks for no reason, I think was at first kind of challenging for me to comprehend and deal with. And I told my husband, I'm like, okay, I'm going to shut everything down because this is insane. Like, let's just go to games like we used to. Let's just not talk to anyone. Let's just head down, cheer, and go home. And then he's like, okay, that's cool, whatever you want. And then I started getting like DMs and emails and messages from people that were like, thank you for letting me feel that it's okay to express myself. Thank you for reminding me about like my mom that passed away. She enjoyed the game like you did. And now I can watch football again because, I can, things like that. A mom reached out and said, her son can't hear. And my expressions and my cheering made him feel like he was part of the game, and that I have goosebumps still talking about it, because I'm like, what a blessing it is that I can connect with individuals, and like when I'm down, I have individuals that I can connect with. And I think it's really, that I think is the best part of it all.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is amazing. Not quite to that level, but I will say that I usually send the moment as a GIF when I feel a whole bunch of emotions at once. That's a very common GIF for me to use. Not quite to that level, but like that is a way of expressing it, right? Like, you see what I just sent, now you get it.
Yeah.
Feel it all at once, all right?
and sometimes you do feel it like literally like all at once, and it's overwhelming. So
yeah, and again, that's kind of our season as we head into our season 2, is be a fan. That's all we want people to do, just be a fan. There's no right or wrong way to be a fan of your team. It's okay to let that, let it out. And we have a mom who's a huge Oklahoma Sooner fan. So it's like,
y'all are crazy.
It's sometimes hard to watch games with her because she gets so in tune and so excited about it. But at the same time, it's like, she's just enjoying her team. That's just what it's about. That's what people enjoy about the sports. Like, there's a lot of negative that goes into it, but we always want to focus on the good. So with that being said, what's like the wildest interaction you had ever, like after that moment?
With like the team or with like a person?
With any, like with just in general that you're comfortable with sharing, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm an open book. I'm just trying to think of what's good to share. I think obviously crazy things like I shared with you in Kansas City, where it became just like, they had a code word for me to be like, okay, say this word if you feel overwhelmed, so that you don't have to be the bad guy that says no pictures or whatever. Obviously, I don't need that now. Nobody cares now, but back then it was crazy. And
well, when I cross paths with you, I'm definitely going to ask for a photo, so be prepared.
Absolutely. When we come to that Chargers game,
I would be honored to take a photo with y'all, so for sure. But yeah, things like that. Tons of stuff with like the team, which is so crazy. Like, people are like, it's scripted, da 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 da, and I don't obviously I don't know why anybody would say planned or scripted. But that being said, I've had so many like coincidental things, and it's almost like serendipitous, where I would run into team members out and about. I would run into the owners out and about. And it's so crazy because I'm not the kind of person that goes out often. And so it'd be like randomly our plans change, our reservation day change, and we show up and we're like, oh my God, the whole crew is here. Like, this is insane. It's insane. And like, I can't eat, I can't drink because I'm like just staring at their table and like hoping that I don't sweat and go crazy. And for them to share like, hey, yeah, we knew who you were when you walked in. I'm like I was like, I'm always still like taken aback to a certain extent, because it's like, I'm a fan, like I'm such a huge fan, and it becomes almost like, am I a creeper? Because does it seem like I'm a creeper that I'm like here? Because I swear to God, I did not know you were going to be here. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'm all like self-conscious, but at the end of the day, everybody's been really, really sweet, really, really kind. It's always a trip, like talking to Coach, because Coach Harbaugh, I mean, who doesn't love him? You can't not love the man. He is so sweet, so quirky, so genuine, so authentic to who he is. Like he's literally like that every time I meet him. And just making an effort to make fans feel special. Even at training camp, he just makes everybody that he comes in contact with feel like they matter. So it's really, really neat.
That's pretty cool. And that leads us into the next one of, how do you represent Charger fans and kind of what the majority of the Bolt fam is about?
The Chargers fans, like every other fan base, is so diverse. There are people that have been fans for all their lives and they're 90 something years old. And there are people that were fans because their parents are fans. And there are people that just became fans last week. You know what I mean? And so it's so diverse. I don't think I don't represent the fan base by any means. I fan in the way that I do. I love going to games. I love going to training camp. I love going to every single Chargers event that is available. I love watching everything over and over again. Like after the game, I swear I'm up till like 2 a.m. with press conferences, like reading all the little notes, reading every single like rewatching all this stuff again, because it's like, did I miss something or did I not analyze it right? And so I'm rewatching it all. And that's how I fan. And it may seem a little bit obsessive, but that's how I enjoy my game. But there are those that, can't go to games. I have a good friend that she knits like little player dolls. And she's been a Chargers fan forever, she and her husband. And I think I want to say like about 15 years ago, her husband had a pretty bad diving accident. And so he's quadriplegic, and so they can't fly out for games. And her way of fanning is making these knitted dolls. And so I think everybody fans differently. I think one thing about Chargers fans is they're very resilient. Like in the playoffs, losing to the Jags after we were popping. Okay, this is jinxing everything. I never ever celebrate before the end. Like I don't. I'm always scared. But that one, we were watching from home, my husband and I. My kids were still my youngest, or my third at that time, was still really young. So we're all popping champagne right at halftime. We're like, yeah, let's bring the good stuff out. And then it was like, oh my gosh.
Now we know why they lost.
Stop it. Please don't blame me. If I had that kind of power, I would just never drink champagne again and we drink every time. But
do you have
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, please continue. I have a follow-up question.
I said, that being said, like I think everybody fans differently, but we're just really resilient because we've been through so much and we're just waiting for our time. And I feel like it's finally here.
Yeah. My deepest apologies for interrupting you. But so when we've interviewed athletes, they have some like pregame superstitions. Do you as a fan have any?
No,
okay, cool.
I'm not a superstitious person. So for me, it's like, I have 4 kids. It's just get out the door or like make sure that they're good, fed so I can turn on the game, whatever that may be. So I don't really have like a ritual or any type of superstitions.
No lucky shirt or lucky spot or anything like that?
No, because nothing. How about you guys?
I do.
The same shirt you wore last time. No, just kidding.
Well, so during the Broncos season this year, yes, I had the specific shirt I would wear. And then for the playoff game, I started with the Bo Nix jersey. And obviously it was a boring ass game between the Broncos and Patriots. So I still switched. It at halftime, and obviously it didn't work. But
so now, do you regret not wearing it initially?
Well, see, I think of stuff like that. So yeah, I do wonder about certain things like that. So kind of like you, it's always one of those where what if you lose a game, for instance, a blocked field goal? Well, what would have happened if we would have got maybe like 2 yards closer, or if, that deep play would have hit? Like if they would have scored one touchdown in the first half, then we're not even sitting here. So it's like, I'm all over the place.
Field goal instead of going on 4th,
That's what I'm talking about. Yes,
Yeah.
I am that fan. That is me.
I wish I had like a pregame thing, but if I'm being honest, I don't necessarily believe in superstition. Very similar to you. Like, it is what it is. I'm gonna watch the game, but I'm not gonna lie. There have been moments where, like, if I wear a certain hat and I notice we're doing well, maybe I might wear that hat that day, and then it's like, okay, this didn't do anything. Maybe I'll keep it on. Maybe I won't. Or like, I've seen that we've won games and I didn't get an opportunity to see them, so it's like, should I just stop watching the games then? Because we do better when I don't watch them.
We did that with KU basketball.
And sometimes the baseball teams, like that's what we do. Sometimes we'll just stop watching and hope. We'll just leave it at that. Like,
isn't it funny? It's kind of like our way of just really hoping that they'll win. You know, like
if whatever it takes.
You know, well, sometimes I'm like, if everybody just blows all at once from this side, that guy's field goal is gonna miss. You know, like, well, just blow all at once. I think that in my head.
We're all armchair coaches at the end of the day, right? Like, if they would have just did what I said, we would have won.
I know.
Like, oh my gosh, you're getting paid millions of dollars to call a play and you didn't call this one. What are you doing?
I know. I try not to think that way because I would have called every single wrong play. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Try not to think that way.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the next segment. So, of course, draft day, you were there obviously with the team. Take us inside what a draft day is like. What were the vibes like being around the team during that magical day?
Super cool. Chargers has a lot of different events for draft, and we're fortunate enough on Thursday to go to a draft event, and we actually get to see Coach and our GM like 30 minutes before they go into the war room. Like, I'm sweating just thinking about it. But it's so cool because they're all chill. You know, they've done their board a gazillion times. They've planned for every scenario, you know, and so they're super chill and they're just waiting to get in there and make those calls. So seeing them before and then being with the fans the whole time and being excited together and trying to predict it, anticipate it, because, you know, you guys mock draft, I'm sure. And you can mock all you want, and then somebody doesn't choose somebody doesn't choose somebody, right? And you're like, oh my God, he's available. Oh my God, he's available. Like, I did not think Akeem would be available at 22. And so when he was, I'm like, dude, throw my mock draft out the window. Like, let's freaking take Akeem. So it was super cool. And it was so funny. Like, afterwards, you know, we're just hanging out with all the different fans and going crazy together. And then at the end, as we're leaving, we get to see Coach and our GM again. And so you see the after and how excited they are and how happy, authentically, not just for the press interview, you know, like they're just super excited and being able to kind of ask them personally how they feel it went and how they feel the pick was or how they feel that it fell. It's just incredible. It's incredible, incredible, incredible. And yeah, I can't say it enough. And then full circle on Saturday. Sorry, I talk so much.
No, please.
I'm Phil. I got it from Phil. So then on Saturday, the Chargers, they did like a public event where if you're a season ticket holder, you can reserve tickets to this draft party at the practice facility. And it was really neat because they allowed like fans to go on tour of the entire practice facility. But then also Akeem was there. So we get to meet our brand new draft pick. And we also, Biotish was there. So he was our center that we picked up during free agency. So that was super cool meeting him and kind of seeing his viewpoint. And then Arande was there as well, which is super cool because he's from last year. And, you know, you look at how amazing Joe does in his 5th round with like people like Arande and Kamane. And it's just freaking amazing what he does. But at the end of meeting Akeem, when he's still so excited and him going up there during his interview, being so well-spoken, everybody's like, oh, he's such an old guy, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, you want somebody to win today. I don't want some guy that, needs to like a year or two to get there, right? Like,
sure. Justin
only has so many years left when he's not breaking things. And so, like, let's do it now. And he's ready now. And he goes up there and Matt Money, he's, I guess, our radio voice, or Matt was like, hey, tell us a little about yourself and how it was like to meet Khalil. And he was like, I'm a student of the game. I'm here to, I'm like, dude, I freaking love you. Like, he's so humble. He's ready to learn. He's ready to win. And you just can't beat it. And so that event was super cool where fans get to go through and take pictures with them, get things signed by them. and really kind of connect with these new players that are on the team. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, we're connected to the team, and as new players come, being able to see who they are as a person, there's so much more to cheer for.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
And Caleb, who's the Chargers fan on our show, he and I did a TikTok live a couple nights before the drafts had, and we spent a lot of time because we had a lot of Charger fans on that live with us, and we were kind of walking through the scenario. We didn't think the offensive lineman was going to be there, so Caleb was really high on Akeem. So Caleb was also, he predicted Akeem Mesidor as the Chargers' first round pick too. So you Charger fans were all in sync of, hey, this is going to be the guy, because we just didn't think that offensive lineman, I believe from Penn State, was going to be there at that time. So what would be the best draft story from the draft weekend for you?
I think that just being full circle, like, seeing Coach and everybody before, and then seeing them after, and then getting the pick, and then meeting him. And I did a whole like shout out like on social, and I tagged him, and so he like recognized it, and so that was super cool. Like him being like, "Hey, it's you," and I'm like, "Hey, Akeem," like we were like, just to share with him how excited we were as a fan base to have him as part of Bolt Fam, and like him being up there saying like, "I just want to make y'all proud. I just want to be able to do you guys right." We're like, "Dude, we're here 100% supporting you, cheering for you." Like with that kind of attitude, we're ready to roll. So
yeah.
The video you posted on Instagram of you predicting it, I did show some people that today. I'm like, yeah, I get to talk to her tonight. So she like predicted this pick. Like, this is awesome.
It was really cool. Like I think a lot of us did at that point, because with what was on the board, he's best available player,
Right.
And so it worked out. Yeah. It was an easy guess.
Yeah, no. Was there a moment at all during the draft and draft weekend and draft process where you kind of paused and went like, yeah, this is crazy that you were really there and like we're experiencing all of that?
Yes, for sure. Like even as soon as we get in the car and we're driving home, I'm like, I just can't believe this. Like, I just feel so blessed, and I just had the best time, and I just can't believe it. Like it's almost like growing up a fan, you dream of these things.
Yep.
Like I don't even dream of, you don't even dream of these things, because you don't think that you're gonna talk to Coach, talk to Joe like the day that they're drafting. You don't think you're gonna meet your draft pick like 2 days after he's chosen. Like all these things are almost like a dream, and I don't take it for granted at all, because it's like it's still like I'm in awe by it, and as I'm driving, I'm like, I still can't believe this. This is so awesome. And I feel so blessed and so excited. And I never want it to stop.
I'm not saying I ever hope the Chargers win a Super Bowl, but I think you deserve to see at least a playoff win somewhere.
That's the kindest thing Austin's probably ever said.
Thanks,
that is probably the nicest thing he's ever said to any of our guests on the show. So
yeah, that's not a Chiefs fan, I will say.
But he's probably like, yeah, but as long as it's you not taking the Chiefs out.
Well, if you notice that he gave you a long pause to just say, what a playoff win is what I hope for your happiness.
Well, it's so funny, because the other day I was saying, when we got Mac back, and I was like, I just really, like last year, I really wanted to win the playoff game for him. Like he's never won a playoff game.
And I will feel bad for him. Like
the guy, you don't have to feel bad, because we're going into the Super Bowl, so you're good. But that being said, like I want to win it for those that like this is kind of maybe very close to their last chance, if not, and right. So and they deserve it. And I don't know. I just really want it to happen for him. Like I'm a fan of the person too. It's not just about me getting to celebrate the Super Bowl, Austin.
Well, we can all sit here and agree that it's better than being a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much crazier than that sometimes, right, Cody?
Hey. That's fair.
But I think I like Mendoza a lot. I don't know if he's going to do great this year, but he's like one kid where I'm like, I wish he wasn't going to the Raiders so that I could cheer for him. Because I think he's a good kid. He has like a really good head on his shoulders. He has an identity. I feel like he knows who he is. He knows what kind of work he has to put into it. And I hate, not that I have anything against you, Cody. I think you're such a cool guy, such a nice guy.
Thank you.
She doesn't know.
But I don't know him. Actually, I don't know him. So I could be totally wrong. But that being said, I just think that I want to cheer for him, but now I can't. So
Right.
Well,
No,
I would say his charm will win you over, and then him winning all those games will make you come over to the dark side, and you'll look great in silver and black. So it'll be fine.
See, no, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, okay, let's move over back to the Chargers real quick. So in your entire fandom, this does not have to be from when, obviously, we've seen you more on social media. This can just be from when you fell in love with the Chargers to today. Who is the coolest player or coach that you've ever met, and why do they stand out to you?
Phil. 100% Phil. Oh my God. So I never thought I would meet him because he's the kind of player that doesn't really come out to fan things. He's not like, he doesn't sign autographs. He doesn't do that kind of stuff. He works and then he goes home to his family, which I have so much respect for. But we went to the Hall of Fame game over the summer. Okay. And we did not know he was going to be there. But we were at the game and then at the ceremony, we still didn't know he was there. Because we saw a bunch of, old teammates and we saw ownership. We saw everybody there. So whatever. And obviously LT's there because he's the gold jacket. But that being said, we are sitting there and Gates is the last one to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? So he's up there, he's talking and he's so emotional and so overwhelmed and thanking LT, thanking everybody for this journey. And then he thanks Phil. And then the camera shoots down where Phil is sitting. And I'm like, oh my God, Phil is here. Like this is insane, right? Like, I can't believe he's here. And so then Gates finishes his speech and everything is done. And as you can see the whole fan base like rush over to Phil. And Mike Goff was there. Mike Goff is his offensive lineman from back in the day. I swear to God, he was like in pads again, like, protecting Phil. So it got so overwhelming that Phil couldn't even go up to Antonio. I think he just started leaving and he was with his wife. And my husband is a huge Phil fan wearing Phil's jersey. So he's like, I'm going to get this signed. And if you know me, Tuan is like the exact opposite of me. He's like Mr. Zen, super chill. I have never seen him that excited in my life. Like more than when we got married, more than when we had babies. Like he's like, I'm gonna get this signed. So he goes and I guess like it kind of dispersed, but he saw where Phil went. Now I sound like a creeper, but we were still outside. We were all outside. So we went over to where Phil was, and Tuan asked him to sign. I'm like, hey Phil, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah. So Mike Goff actually moved out of the way. He didn't like tackle me. And I got to take a picture with Phil and he was so sweet. And after he walked away, I turned around. I think I took maybe 1 or 2 steps and I fell to my knees. Like I got weak in the knees. I started crying and I've never reacted like that to any player, any meeting anybody, like it's probably like, I've never reacted that way. And I just fell down and I'm just crying because I'm like, it was like a full circle moment. It wasn't like yes, it was about him, but it wasn't necessarily about him. It was just about the excitement of being a fan and meeting this person who brought me into this world. Okay, that sounded weird, but yes, this Chargers world. And I was just overwhelmed with emotion. I think that in that moment was such a cool feeling. I probably look like a psycho, but it was such a cool feeling.
That is so cool.
Yeah, meeting Phil.
So that kind of answers the next question that I had for you right here. But so let's take this current team right now. So if there was, you get a chance to just sit down for 10 minutes and talk with the current player, who would you pick?
Oh, it's so hard to sit down and chat for 10 minutes.
Yeah, they come and they say you get to pick anybody from the roster right here that's on this field right here. You get to sit and just chit chat with them for 10 minutes.
See, like it's so hard because like chatting with Tier would be like hilarious because the guy is freaking nuts. Cam is super cool and nice. I feel like Justin wouldn't talk much.
That's straight. Yeah.
Dayon would be fun. Oh God. I think I would talk to It's so hard to choose somebody. You know who I haven't sat down and had a really not sat down, but I haven't been able to ask a lot of questions of or talk to is Keenan. Although he may not be on the roster.
He's still a Charger.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he'll always be known for that.
I think Keenan is somebody I would love to kind of chat with, pick his brain, get how he feels personally. Yeah, Keenan.
It's a great answer.
See, there's two for me. It would be the safeties, Jefferson and Derwin.
So I was going to say TJ, but I've talked to TJ before, so I can't.
Yeah, and that's mostly because they have done some brutal work against my Chiefs. So I think those could be some fun conversations as a Chiefs fan. But Tony Jefferson's hilarious.
Dude, he's so funny, and he's freaking everybody's like, oh, he's so old. He's so old. He plays hard.
Yeah.
Like he plays hard-nosed football, like how we used to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting ejected. I mean, yes, certain hits. People should always be safe. Sorry, I don't want to sound like a jerk. We should always be safe.
We always preference that.
Yep, we do.
Yes. We should always be safe. We should never intend to hurt. But it's football.
Yeah.
Right.
Also true.
Tackle.
Yes. 100%.
If I don't knock him down, he's gonna get a freaking touchdown. I gotta get this guy, right? So I love the way they play. I love the way, dude. I will never not remember Kelsey getting body slammed by Derwin. That is everything. That is
I love that moment.
Well, and
that's my favorite Chargers moment for sure.
Well, and then Jefferson laying out Rashee Rice this last season, right?
Crazy.
That's what I'm saying. They've done some brutal work.
But he was okay. So
he was.
No, he was. Well, it was a clean hit.
I was worried. I was worried initially because he was down. Yeah, he was down.
That's a grown man making a grown man's tackle.
And he's so fun. Tony is so fun.
No, I agree. I think there's a lot of good Charger players that it would be to have conversations with for sure. So I can see why that would be hard.
And they're all so nice. They're all so nice.
Well, I don't know. Tier Tar was out here throwing punches.
Freaking hilarious. The guy is so funny. So he is pretty crazy, slapping people, but at the end of the day, he's so funny.
I had to admit, if that wasn't the Chargers doing it to the Chiefs, I would have absolutely loved it.
Right?
I get why everyone else does. Right?
If somebody else did it, if somebody did it to us, if somebody did it to us, I'd probably be eject him, get out of here. What is he doing? But I was we were all going crazy. It was so
good. No, I think he gained a lot of fans from that moment for sure. I think you've already answered this one too, just with that whole Phillip Rivers story. I was going to say, how did meeting, that person change how you viewed the entire team? But I think that story kind of tells it all. He brought you into you're one of his 14 kids.
I know. He brought me into this world. It doesn't change how I view the team. The more players I meet, the more people from the organization I meet, the more I fall in love with the team. I mean, they're a good crew.
Yeah.
Is there any Charger players that recognized you first and that came up to you and kind of, I wouldn't say fanned a little bit, but they came up recognizing you as the Chargers fan and just want to say, hey, I really appreciate your fandom?
I think because I'm so crazy and I'm always calling their name first. But yeah, they recognize you. Dayon probably training camp. He's oh my God. And for them to come up and hug me, I'm yeah, cool, sweat. Just let's go, but it's so cool to feel my fandom matters to them.
Right.
It's they appreciate it, but it's also it matters, and it makes you feel good as a fan, knowing that they appreciate all the fans, and I'm just lucky that happened, and it allows me to have a little bit of an ease into a conversation. But otherwise, yeah, it's been like that where I'm hey, Dayon, or hey, whatever, and yeah, we know you, da-da-da. So, and Tarheeb is super sweet like that too. So, and it's crazy, things happenstance. We'll be on the plane to Houston for a game, and I'll be sitting right by Dayon's parents on the plane. Or I'll be sitting by Tarheeb's professor and mom, and they're like, oh, you're the one that gave him the doll. Because so my friend knits the dolls. Well, I try to get the dolls to the players and to the coaches.
There you go.
Right. So they're like, oh, you're the one that gave him the doll. I'm like, yeah, that was my son. And so like for my kids to get to have interaction with them too is super neat. Like they're living the dream, dude.
I do have one player I'm curious on, and it's probably my favorite current Chargers player. Have you ever met Dicker the Kicker?
Yes, I've met him multiple times. He's so cool. Like he's the one guy at training camp that's always gonna sign he stays after to sign autographs. But he's also the guy like walking bare feet around the field in his like swim trunks because we have like a lap pool at our training facility. I'm like, who is this guy? But like at the Super Bowl, because I got to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so the Mr. Beast team did a collaboration with Whatnot or something. And they were like, oh, you know, they called me the night before and they're like, are you up here yet? I'm like, yeah, I'm up here. They're like, are you busy tomorrow? I'm like, not for you. I'm not busy at all, you know, like whatever. So they're like, okay, well, we're going to go out to this thing and we're going to go live stream and we're going to pick somebody on Whatnot and they're going to win $30,000. I'm like, and all you have to do is announce it. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Like I get to tell somebody they got 30 grand. So we get there and they're like, okay, you know, we already chose somebody to kick a field goal. So I'm like, okay, you know, I thought it was one of those kids like practicing on the field. So they get on the live stream, like, okay, the kicker is here. It's freaking Dicker, right? And I had met him before, but he's like, Merrianne. I'm like, hey. And he's like, you're going to hold the ball. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you know the key to holding a ball, right? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're going to hold the ball so that I can kick the field goal. I legit thought he was joking the whole time. And he's like, you know what the key is? I'm like, I don't know what. He's like, laces out or whatever.
Laces out. Yeah.
Right. I was like, okay, laces out. He's like, okay, put your finger on there. Well, my finger is like shaking, right? So then I'm like, okay, can I do 2 fingers? And he's like, yeah. He's in like his slip-on loafers, like shorts, whatever. I'm holding the ball. He's like, just don't let go, okay? Don't be afraid and don't let go. So I'm not even like looking at him because I'm scared that if I see him like charging at me, I'll freak. So I'm just staring at the ball. I'm just holding my fingers and staring at the ball. And he freaking just douche, 3 field goals, 30K.
Nice.
Funniest guy, sweetest guy. At the end, he's like praying with the producer, like really cool dude. Funny, awesome, generous. Yeah, I can't say enough.
We're big fans of kickers. You know, we had Matt Prater on when we first started, and that was really cool. And I don't know why, I love like kickers and punters. And Dicker the Kicker's obviously a great nickname, but also just really good kicker.
The most accurate there ever have been. Dude, did you see his free kick?
I did.
So that was insane. You were following it. Stop it.
Unfortunately, it was against the Broncos. So yeah, unfortunately.
So cool.
In the moment, it wasn't, but looking back on it, it was. Yeah, I was like, dang, he's actually going to do this. And then, of course, I mean, I felt like he was going to make that just based on him as a kicker and what he's been able to do, and just following him since he was at Texas too. So I was very familiar with his game.
Yep, I do want to end with one question because I am curious. I know how a lot of people feel about the Bolt fam, and they make jokes of like, you know, they just never win anything and all this. But I am curious on, you know, what is one word that you would use for Chiefs Kingdom?
Losers.
Fallen.
Oh, that's a great one.
Bandwagon.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I'll sit here and join you.
Yeah,
I'll join you.
I love that.
That's
gonna be on the banner from now on. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So maybe we go talk about the Chiefs season or the Chiefs in general. They're just gonna be like fallen.
Right. So Merrianne, before we let you go, for our season 2 Be a Fan, I'm gonna give you the floor. Can you describe what it's like to be a fan and what it means to you and your fandom? To let the audience know like what being a fan represents for you.
Wow, that's like a big question. Being a fan represents for me like passion, an outlet for emotions, excitement, love. I have so much faith and hope for the team. And it's you know, people that aren't into football, aren't into sports may think it's crazy, may think like, why would you put so much behind, like time, energy, finance behind a team that you don't know, you don't have anything associated with, and people will say they haven't won anything. At the end of the day, like, I fell in love with the team through a player, and every single player, every single person I've met after that has only increased that love and that faith and that hope for the team. And I hope for a win for myself to be excited, but also for each team member and for the ownership and for the organization. Like, I get excited. It's passion. It's a huge part of my life. Faith, family, and football. Like, that's life in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think passion and energy is definitely two words that come to mind when thinking about your fandom. And I mean that as a compliment, not as in, you're chaotic or what I think you said, crazy, which even if it is, like, that's how you fan. So be a fan. But that was very well said, for sure, for the team.
There you go. Merrianne, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can you please plug your socials so people know where they can find you?
Sounds good. It's Merrianne Do, so Merrianne Do at every
all platforms, huh?
social.
Anything with a check mark, right?
All platforms, yeah.
Right on.
She does fantastic stuff, Chargers content.
Yeah.
I know I'm a Chiefs fan, but I still enjoy what she posts with all the Chargers, with the fans, the team, and everything. So even if you're not a Chargers fan, it's good
all
stuff.
Pretty just it's all positive. Really don't. I'm not a hater. Like, yes, it's competition, so obviously I want to win, and I want you to lose. But at the end of the day, like, I respect your passion, I respect your fandom, and I respect what you guys do day in and day out. Like, it's a lot of work what you do, the content that y'all put out there. So thank you to you and all the other streamers out there too, because it's a lot of work.
That's a very kind compliment, because I was actually, and I know Corey and Austin and Caleb too, who's not here with us, but we were all excited to meet you. And honestly, like, it's a joy to get to know you and you share your story. And this is one of the things we love to do, is even though we're rivals, we love to hear stories or why you're a fan from other athletes and stuff. So really, you giving us more than an hour of your time, we're so appreciative of it. We hope you come back and tell us more about all the Charger stuff you have going on. Even though they're not our team, we'll still support you for being a fan of the Chargers. So,
yep.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, guys. If you are ever here for a game, please hit me up. Got to meet up. Got to take you through the tailgate.
Oh,
100%.
we'll take you up on that offer for sure.
Yep.
All right.
We'll make sure they
Thanks,
play the
Mary.
Raiders and see a win.
Oh, it'd be an awkward night if we came out with a victory. I'm just saying, LA's usually ran by the Raiders, so tough night.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
Mary,
you
be
so
well.
much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, what an incredible guest, guys. That was a
That's
great
the kind of energy I need from you guys when we head into this season from this show. Like, if you guys aren't bringing the energy that she had tonight, I don't want you guys on here.
How do you expect me to match that?
Well, she's setting the expectation of what the war room energy needs
Man,
to be like for the rest of the season.
my cheeks are sore from smiling. She is such a bubbly, energetic person. Like, it's contagious to not want to be happy around her, because she's just full of excitement.
That's what I'm saying. I will need that energy this season.
You guys know that's not me as a fan.
This is Austin. This is peak Austin right now. His energy, like, we'll never see him this happy at this moment,
That was the kind of energy I was expecting from you Thursday night.
Yeah,
Well,
with the Mendoza.
Hold
Yeah.
on. How many crash outs did I have this past season? And you want me to be on fire like that after what we just went through?
It was a big moment for your your franchise. So there's a couple of comments here. So Brandon, you do recognize that person. As we
one of the most
mentioned,
famous people we've probably ever talked to.
Yeah, the viral moment.
Yeah.
ESPN moment. So high energy. That's all I can say. And it's like she kept apologizing for talk all you want. Like,
Right.
This is exactly what we want here. And then my favorite one of the night. This is the winner.
The one word to describe the Chiefs.
This is the winner.
You know what? I think I'll take Fallen.
Shout out Bush Raider. Appreciate
Bush Raider right there with the comment of the night. Drewski, I see you in there, as well as Nacho Fries.
And Mom.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yep.
So again,
it. Mama Shovic, shout out.
we try to pay attention to the comments, but she was obviously fantastic and going on. And so we
we.
just Just didn't pay attention to the comments too much tonight.
But we still love you guys. Appreciate you showing out. As always, we see the hashtag be a fan, all the good stuff. So we definitely appreciate you guys.
And I guess we're heading into a busy weekend for you.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to Garrett Bull's charity golf tournament this weekend in Arizona. So I hope I don't get caught up in the moment. I do hope to get some photos and or a video or two of the War Room kind of just being present at his charity golf event. It is to support the foundation that he and Miss Jenny were on our show talking about during the Broncos bye week. It's a great initiative. I'll definitely post something before then and a link to their charity so you can check it out and at the very least share it out as well. And if you're able to donate as well, it's a great cause. It helps his son personally. Matt was able to bond over that because Aiden, similar to Kingston, who was Garrett's son. So I'll definitely share that out so we can help, raise as much awareness as possible for it. But I am excited to golf in his charity golf event this week.
Just don't golf how we golfed this last weekend. I kept telling him multiple times while we were golfing this last weekend, like, if you golf like that in front of Coach Payton, if Sean Payton's there and you golf in front of him like that, we're like, don't.
We're done.
You're like, yeah, well, this is how you draft.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
boom. No, but then we have, right now we have one guest lined up for next week. It's Haley Lewis, reporter, Chiefs. She's super busy and doing a bunch of awesome stuff too that excited to hear about. So the guests keep rolling in. We got another one next week. And I think that's going to lead us into what really needs to take place. And that's Cody plugging our socials.
But we also have another Raider fan joining us next week officially.
That's right. My compadre, Drew. So once upon a time, Drew and I started a podcast, Drew Code Sports Talk. Actually, how I was introduced to the Shoviks is they invited me on their show. He is going to be joining us next Thursday. I believe that is the 7th. Yeah.
You said the 7th, so hopefully it's the 7th.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Yeah. There we go. Next Thursday. So he'll be joining us and he'll be talking Raiders and we'll be talking baseball as well because he's a huge baseball fan. And I know that Austin and Corey and even myself, we all been kind of interested in this baseball season right now as the NFL's in the off season. But Raider fan coming on.
And baseball can change in a week. So we'll see what my mood's like. If, obviously the Cubs won today and the Royals are playing right now. So we'll see that's almost 6 or 7 games by then. So we'll see how I want to, tell him to get his damn power rankings ready.
All right. I'll have him get his power rankings ready and he's going to start some controversy. That's for sure. Cause his power rankings.
I want to hear him and Austin go back and forth on the power rankings.
It's going to be a great night. Everyone needs to tune in. And in order to watch that, you got to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are on the road to 500. I think last time I checked before we jumped on is 446. So we are right around the corner. So please, everyone, share this out. Bring as many people to the channel as possible so we can get to 500. Our goal is to get to 500 before week 1. But our hope is to get to 500 relatively quickly and then get on the road to 700 by week 1. But we're shooting for 500. We feel like that's pretty attainable. But it's going to take you guys watching right now to go and hit the subscribe button. Go share this out to any fandom. It doesn't have to be the AFC West. It can be the NFC East. It can be the West. It can be the South, North. Same in the AFC Conference. So send this out to everyone who's a fan so they can subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Corey goes live pretty often on TikTok. Austin posts great stuff on our Instagram and on X. Go follow us there. And we're active on Facebook as well. So follow us on all the socials. That way you guys keep up with us and you see all the clips from the episodes. And we want to hear from you guys as fans. So appreciate you guys so much for watching and tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week for Haley Lewis on Tuesday. Anything else, fellas?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. I'm so sorry. Wednesday with Haley Lewis. Anything else, fellas?
Yeah, Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo, my friend.
I'm here for tacos, baby. Taco Tuesday on Cinco de Mayo. This is...
Oh, it's going to be a party.
I'm going to say it's America.
Bro, does this not line up perfectly?
We might have to do some tacos and Coronas on a live or something. That'd be...
I mean... I like tacos.
You're gonna
and
have to twist
Coronas.
my arm.
I mean, you're talking about 2 of my favorite things. You give me a Corona and lime.
It's over. All right. We'll see you guys next week.